All right, so I was checking out this message from Jeremiah Adegbola, from the Rhythms of Grace podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's talking about prayer,
Yeah.
but kind of in a way that I haven't really heard before.
Okay.
Like, obviously, you and I, we talk about this stuff a lot.
Right. Yeah.
But he's got this really interesting take. He's using academic success as
Yeah, like an example.
yeah, an example.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's clear he's talking about so much more than just, getting good grades or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought this would be a cool one to kind of deep dive into. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I was intrigued right away when I saw, like praying for your transporters.
Yeah, the transporters. I'm like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, that's not usually on my prayer list.
What, do you pray for Uber drivers or something?
Right, exactly. Like, who are these transporters?
Yeah.
But I think, what he's getting at is this whole idea that everything's kind of interconnected, right? And so he's encouraging you to pray for all these different people and even systems that, contribute to your success, whether you realize it or not.
So it's not just about, like, praying for myself to ace that exam,
Yeah. Right.
But, I should also be praying for my professors and, even my landlord.
Right.
To make sure the lights stay on so I can actually study.
Right. Like all those practical things.
And the bus driver who gets me to campus on time, that's quite a list.
Yeah, it is a long list.
That's a lot of people to pray for.
But I think it highlights how often we overlook, the contributions of others. Like, you can be the most prepared student, the smartest person in the room.
Right.
But, external factors can still affect you, your results.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like, think of it like a sports team,
Okay.
Everyone plays a role in winning the game.
Right.
Even those behind the scenes.
The coaches, the trainers, all that.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm starting to see how this all, connects.
But honestly, part of me's still like, okay, praying for my landlord. Isn't that a bit much?
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't I be focusing on, my own effort and, hitting the books?
It's a question.
Like, is that really gonna, make a difference?
I think, what he's saying is it's not about replacing your effort. It's more about recognizing that we're not in complete control.
Right, yeah.
And so it's kind of inviting a higher power, God, into every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
And he actually says, Adegbola says, that this practice can help you see God's goodness at work.
Okay.
Even in, unexpected places.
Oh, like that.
Like, even in the landlord,
So maybe it's not about, praying that they magically lower my rent.
Right, yeah.
But maybe it's more about just, praying for their well-being.
Yeah.
And hoping that, they keep my apartment safe and functional.
Exactly, yeah.
Acknowledging their role in my success, however small it might seem. Right, because if you don't have a safe place to live and you're worried about,
Yeah, the roof caving in.
Right, exactly, then that's going to distract you from your studies.
Yeah, that's true.
So, by recognizing these small things and praying for them, I think we cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude, for everyone who contributes to our well-being.
Yeah, that's good.
And it kind of shifts our perspective, I think, from being so individualistic, to embracing this interconnectedness.
Yeah, totally.
That we're all part of something bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is making me really rethink how I, approach prayer. It's not just like a wish list, dear God, please give me this, give me that.
Right.
It's more about actively engaging with the world.
Yeah.
And acknowledging the roles that other people play.
Exactly.
And you mentioned this connects to Adegbola's whole idea of the year of dominion, right?
Yeah, so that's actually something he declared. He said this year is the year of dominion, meaning he believes we can actively shape our reality through prayer.
Wow, that's big.
It's not just about, passive hope. It's about partnering with, a higher power to create positive outcomes.
So it's not just wishing for good things to happen.
Right.
It's actively working towards them, but with this spiritual element.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm trying to put this all together, right? So if I were to take this approach and apply it to, say, my career.
Okay.
Who would I be praying for? My colleagues, my boss, my clients.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Wow.
Okay, and think about, even the systems you rely on, technology, transportation, the economy,
Right, yeah, it's all connected.
It's all connected.
So, I might pray for my colleagues not just for their individual success,
right,
but, for a healthy and, collaborative work environment.
Exactly.
So it's about, recognizing all those unseen forces that are kind of impacting my success.
Yeah. And like praying for them to kind of work smoothly.
Exactly.
Wow, this deep dive has just like totally shifted my perspective on prayer.
I'm glad.
It's not just about asking for things.
Right.
It's about recognizing, interconnectedness, cultivating gratitude, and like actively participating in creating these positive outcomes.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Adegbola was focusing on academic success.
Yeah.
But like this applies to everything.
To everything.
Your relationships, your health, even your hobbies.
Your finances, your family.
Everything. Like it's really about recognizing all the people and the systems and just like
the unseen forces.
The unseen forces that are contributing to your well-being,
Absolutely.
It's really, really cool. It's really thought-provoking.
It is.
And I love that.
Me too.
So like for our listeners out there,
Yeah.
if you were to take this approach and apply it to your own life, like who would you be praying for? What would you be praying for?
That's the question.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
It is.
And if you want to dive even deeper into these ideas, I mean, definitely check out the Rhythms of Grace podcast.
That's true.
They are like clearly onto something, like profound.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's a really cool approach to prayer, I think.
It is.
And I'm really glad we got to deep dive into this.
Me too.
Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And to all our listeners out there, happy praying.
Happy praying.
And we'll catch you next time.
See you later.